it's Cassie, and today I'm going to be doing my college decision reveal. Here are all of the schools I was applying to, and yes, they're in oranges. There's really no good reason for them to be in oranges. I just don't like cupcakes, so oranges it is. And if my tongue's red, it's just because I had an icy, so we can ignore that, but yeah. Anyway, I ended up applying to 17 colleges, and those would be all of these. I'll go ahead and put like logos up on the screen because I know these are really tiny, but yeah. And so I guess we start the elimination. So we're gonna start with this lovely plate here and then move over to this one because I can't see them. Okay, so the first ones we are eliminating are the ones I got rejected from. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So that's gonna be Stanford. And unlike everyone else who just moves the cupcakes, I'm gonna be eating my oranges. I recommend eating them. And then also Harvard. And then I got waitlisted at MIT, so we're gonna eat them. And then Waterloo still hasn't given me a decision because they're a Canadian school and I hear they usually come out in May, but I'm sorry. You're eaten. And then this plate can return with just Purdue. Okay, so the next school I am eliminating is San Diego State University, which is right here. I just realized there's going to be a lot of eating, but oh well. So San Diego State, I know like it's a great school and it's really lovely in San Diego. That's part of the reason I applied. I was like, I really like the location. It's like far enough away from where I'm living currently that I would have like distance, but also enjoy the weather of California. And it just wasn't really one of my top choices to begin with. It was one of my safety schools because it is our state school. And yeah, so it was eliminated. And then I will also be getting rid of Cal Poly. Again, beautiful area, like the beach. I thought it was just gorgeous. My friends were also considering there too because they have really good programs. I know one of their women in computer science organizations even wrote me and was like, hi, like join our community, and they were definitely very sweet, but unfortunately they did not make the cut. And then next is Davidson. My school counselor really encouraged me to apply to Davidson. Their computer science program is definitely smaller than the other schools and it's definitely emerging, and that can be seen as a positive or like a negative depending on how you see it, but they're definitely increasing the funding to the department and really trying to help it grow, so I thought that was a great thing. Unfortunately, I'm looking for a more supported program in a location that would be pretty good for recruiting, so that would be like Boston area, Georgia area, San Francisco area, Los Angeles area, and I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the location personally, but they were the sweetest. The admissions officer actually like wrote a note to me about like my application, and I got that sent in the mail, and on my admissions letter they were like mentioning specific things in my app, so they definitely do take the time to like personally try and get you to come to the school, which I thought was really sweet. But unfortunately, I will not be going to Davidson. The next one is UCSD. I really recommend buying cuties, just 100%. So UCSD has an amazing computer science program. It's in San Diego, which I already said. I really like that location. But unfortunately, it's just one of the UCs I got into, but I didn't get into my preferred major. I want to do computer science and I got into data science, and even though I want to like double major, so it like didn't really matter. It wasn't at the top of my list, and clearly I wasn't at the top of theirs. They didn't let me into their first choice, like my first choice, so it's okay. And then same thing for UCI. They accepted me, but they also only let me into their data science major, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. I would have double majored there probably too, but anyway, they have been eliminated out of my UC choices. Let's see, what schools are left? Okay, the next one I'm going to eliminate is BU. I actually really like the Boston area. I went and visited with my mom actually right before the pandemic, but I didn't actually tour BU when I was there because I didn't even know it existed. So I just really liked their kind of like vibe from all like the videos and descriptions that people would give of the school, and that's kind of how I decided to apply. And they have a great computer science program, but it just wasn't at the top of my list. And its program and research opportunities weren't as, I don't know, attractive as some of the other schools I was looking at. The next one to eliminate is U of T. So U of T was a really great option because it's in Canada, which would be like a totally new place for me to like live, but also I go home a lot to Canada, so not totally new. It would be a lot cheaper than American schools, especially with the Canadian dollar, but unfortunately I don't know, I'd rather stay in the States because I want to work in the States. And even though a lot of Canadian schools are very well received, like U of T and Waterloo, I don't know, I feel like I want to stay in the States even though there's so much wrong in the States, which makes very little sense, I know, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, and now we have these schools left: UCLA, Georgia Tech, Cal, Brown, UMass Amherst, oh no, my orange, and Purdue. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like a dance teacher and like lining up all my students in the perfect formation. I still can't tell if you can see them, but we can pretend, okay? I'll put them up on the screen again. Anyway, so the next one to be eliminated was UMass Amherst. They're a really good school because they have a great AI program and they have great research opportunities. Personally, I was not the biggest fan of the location because it's not super close to Boston and I wanted to avoid being in a suburb. So that was definitely a downside. Additionally, their program is pretty well ranked, but it would be kind of expensive to attend, like compared to other schools here, and we'll touch on cost a little bit later too. And so I just thought for like the price I would be paying that there were other schools that I would be preferring to go to in this clump, but I definitely would consider it for graduate school, so maybe applying there again in the future. Okay. And then the next one that I was eliminating was UCLA. I feel like that might shock a lot of people, but so UCLA does not have my intended double major, so I really want to double major with data science. They do have a data theory major that's more math-based, but I don't know if I really want to go down that route with more like proofs. So it was really like, do I want to go somewhere where I'm not totally sure about what I want to do academics wise, because I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do in the future and like what I want to do in grad school. So I just kind of eliminated that because it wasn't exactly the fit I was looking for. Well, on the other hand, the other UC in my group, Cal, actually has the #1 data science major in the country. They have great research, and so I was like, between UCLA and Berkeley, I'm definitely leaning towards Cal. And then the final push that led me to like eliminate UCLA between UCLA and Cal, because I was like, okay, we only need one UC school in the mix, was that I got into the SEED honors program at Cal. So that gives me an annual research stipend, faculty access, and like mentors, graduate student mentors, and like so much more, which I don't get at UCLA because they only offered me guaranteed research with a stipend for one summer, either after my freshman or sophomore year, which I know is also really great, but Cal just offered a more attractive offer for research, which is also really important to like learn more about my interests and will also be great for grad school. Okay, the next one that I eliminated was Purdue. And so Purdue actually offered me a great program. It was their Emerging Leaders program. So it looked really great. They gave me a lot of scholarship money, especially since I'm an out-of-state student. My tuition would be covered, and the cost of living in Indiana is quite low compared to California, so it would probably be one of the cheapest schools to attend. But unfortunately, just like looking at their program compared to Cal's program that they offered me for support, Cal's program was definitely like winning out in that. And also, Cal's just like a better research institution. Brown's a better research institution, in my opinion. So that is why Purdue was eliminated. And then we have 3 left. Georgia Tech, or actually my dad went there, Cal, and Brown. Now, the one that I always get asked about when people like see my video or like they're texting me about like college stuff, they're like, so are you going to Brown? Are you going to Brown? Which I like totally get because it's an Ivy, but I also don't get because like I got into other schools. Yeah, so some people were like, congrats on Brown, but I'm like, congrats on all the schools. I love all the schools I got into. Like, I intentionally applied, but I just find that a little odd, like the culture around Ivies. Yeah, anyway. So with Brown, they have a really great program, and if you had asked me when I was applying to schools, I would tell you my top choices were Stanford, MIT, and Brown. Stanford rejected me, MIT waitlisted me, and Brown actually accepted me. So you would be like, oh my gosh, Cassie, you said you're going to go to Brown. And oh my gosh, I hate that I just referred to myself as the third person. But unfortunately, Brown is extremely expensive. It's almost $80,000, well, over $80,000 a year. And I just can't justify spending that much money on an education, especially when both of these schools right here are around half the price. So for that reason, even though Brown has amazingly interdisciplinary programs, they don't have any like general ed requirements, they're a lot smaller, they're in the Northeast, which would be a total switch up from where I'm living now. I just can't justify spending that much money. Like, no thank you, you're a great school, but I don't think the utility gained would be worth it for that amount of money. Okay, we have 2 schools left, and I feel like I've been comparing a lot of schools to Cal because it is in the UC system, and I was comparing a lot of UCs to it. But let's talk a little bit about Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech actually gave me their Provost Scholarship, so that means I would be paying in-state tuition, and the cost of living is cheaper in Georgia than California, so it'd actually be cheaper to go to Georgia Tech for me. Additionally, their comp sci curriculum is amazing. I'm not sure if any of you are looking to go to computer science, but I definitely look into their curriculum because they have their thread program where you get to choose where you want to focus on in your degree, and they set up these options and recommended courses for them, and you fulfill 2 threads to get your bachelor's. So that was really like attractive to me, and they had a great one in intelligence, which is the direction that I want to go. So I really liked their coursework and curriculum available. Something I was hesitant about was the weather, which I know is like a minor change, but humidity is a little annoying, to be honest. And then also location-wise, I really appreciated that it was right in Atlanta, like right next to the city, but you also got that campus feel because all the buildings were like right there or across the bridge. Something that I was less thrilled about was that it was a state school, and it's not because it's a state school itself, but more so like the diversity that comes with being a state school in Georgia. Their diversity is not the best in my opinion. Lots of Georgia people, which is great because providing education to the community that it's in, but also it's not quite as diverse as Berkeley is, as it has lots of international applicants. And I feel like California is just a lot more of a diverse state than Georgia is because there's so many different areas. There's the Valley, there's Northern California, the Bay Area, Southern California. You just get so many more types of people, I think. And then size-wise, Georgia Tech's undergraduate population is actually half of Cal's. So they're both pretty huge schools because Georgia Tech has 15,000 while Cal has 30. And both of these are not the size I was looking for when I was applying. But I think going to their student events, they really sold me on the fact that by having a larger school, you have that much more funding and opportunities to take advantage of. And you can really find your niche better than in a smaller school where you're kind of limited to the small groups that are there, or else you have to create something and it's going to be, maybe you'll get a little bit more money, but you're not going to have the number of people to work together and collaborate on things that you would at a larger school. So anyway, I had my final two and I deliberated over this for ages. I made schedules at either school, like if I were to go there, like what classes I would take. I made 4-year plans and I haven't even committed to these schools. And I was like, okay, if I go this way, what gen eds can I get out of? What classes would I take for my major? So I ended up eliminating Georgia Tech because location-wise, I do think California is a better place, especially recruitment-wise, being so close to Silicon Valley. And also, I really like the diversity that Cal offers, even though it's definitely lacking in a lot of places. At least it is more diverse than Georgia Tech, and they have had a lot of initiatives that I've been going to events for that seem really supportive, and I really look forward to joining the communities. And I guess I'm just a little bit of a sucker for the fact that they have the data science major and their majors are structured in a way that I can complete a double major and a minor and take courses related to biology, computational biology, and just machine learning research that I really want to take, while Georgia Tech was a lot more structured, so I couldn't really go as in depth as I wanted to in my areas of interest. Anyway, so Cal won. Look, it's coordinated with the blue plate. And then there's yellow. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm really excited to be attending to Cal. Wait, oh my gosh. Ta-da! I went to one of their drive-in events. It was their only one where they had a bunch of speakers talking about support for minorities at the school and different people's experiences, and I picked up some swag. But yeah, I am so excited to be going to Cal next year. I'm really excited about research. I don't know if you could tell from everything I was talking about, and I've already have my 4-year schedule planned, and I made different versions, so I'm a little obsessive over that. But if you guys don't like a guide to using Notion for planning things out or organizing work, because I currently use that for my schoolwork, and I used it for organizing possible classes I could be taking, and I also used it for my whole college app application process. So let me know, and I'm hungry, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning where I'm going to school, and hopefully it wasn't too gross watching me eat a bunch of orange things, but thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see in my next videos at the bottom, and yeah, bye. I'm wearing shorts.